Now we have a presentation, the same kind of, because we get all these loan sanctions, supports through banks, and NABARD is one of the like major banks through which like all these are supported, schemes are supported. So we have a presentation from NABARD, like how NABARD can play a role, how NABARD plays the role to take these schemes to the micro entrepreneurs. So we have Sri Vishal Sharma, DGM NABARD Delhi, and I request Sri Vishal Sharma to kindly come on the dais for the presentation, sir, please.
I think it is a lunch time, and most of you might be waiting for your lunch, so I'll not take much time because some of them wanted to have a lunch first. I'll be very brief. Most of the things I think have already been covered. I'll not touch those things again. So I prepared a big presentation, but I'll only cover those slides which I feel, because after listening to MFP slides, you may not find my presentation as lucrative, because I have already covered NABARD as a enabler in the sector. So I'll only go to those slides which I feel as entrepreneurs you may like it. This already been covered a lot by Director MFP. There is a lot of scope for food processing sector. Why I wanted to cover a food processing sector? Because when food safety and security comes into mind, immediately three things comes into my mind. One is access to food, second is availability of food, and third is affordability of food. And the entire food system, the food processing works as a platform and bottom for that. And it works as a linkage between the agriculture produce and the consumer. So that's why I wanted to push some focus on food processing sector also, and why the sector has a lot of potential. That also has been indicating here, because we wanted to target a 10.47% of CGR growth by 2047. So sector is already growing by 5.35% during last 3 years. This is a brief about food processing sector. We can differentiate based on stages into three parts. One is first stage, which is called storage stage. Second is primary stage, which required sorting, grading, etc. And third is secondary stage, which required change in grade so that it becomes edible or consumable. This is a brief about banking sector in India. I'll not go deep into this, and this is vision and mission of NABARD. These are major function of NABARD. These are the role played by NABARD as a sector enabler. We do two kind of credit function. One is refinancing function, where banks are given refinance, short-term as well as long-term refinance, to lend to the particular sector. So short-term refinance is provided for the purpose of working capital production need of farmer. The KCC is one of that part, where we refinance to bank to lend to the farmers, and plus we also route Government of India entrance subvention for KCC. So we have created a separate portal for that also. We also lend term loan refinance to banks to support the asset creation and capital formation in agriculture and rural development sector. So we also work very closely with bank for creation of some digital infrastructure. We have recently created a separate portal for submission of digital portal for submission of KCC portal, which is called as eKCC portal, where farmer will be able to submit their application digitally, and bank will also be able to sanction it, give a in principle sanction digitally. So there is no need to go to the bank branch in particular. So we are also working very closely with the WDRA and Ministry of Consumer Affairs for hosting a eKun portal, which is hosted at Jansamat portal, which is a platform created for e-warehouse receipt system. These are the credit function. We prepare some special refinance schemes to push credit to certain sectors, and one of the sector is micro food processing sector, where banks are additional resources are put into the hands of banks for credit expansion in this particular sector. So these are some sectors I just wanted to highlight here. This is one direct finance system which is a supplement to the Ministry of Food Processing subsidy schemes, where any entrepreneur wanted to set up some food park or agro processing cluster under Ministry of Food Processing Industries scheme, they can avail that finance from NABARD. Ministry has created a fund with NABARD for 2,000 crore rupees. It was created in 2014, where long-term term loan facility is given to the entrepreneur. We either directly link to sanction credit to the entrepreneurs, or we also lend funds to the entrepreneurs through consortium of consortium with other banks. This is a small status of food processing fund. We have already lent to 14 mega food park. 3 industrial food park has also been developed. Then we have already lent to 9 agro processing cluster. If some entrepreneur wanted to set up some mega food park or agro processing cluster under Ministry of Food Processing of Industries scheme, they can come to NABARD and have credit under this fund. We also do a lot of work in infrastructure funding, because I told you earlier that my presentation is more as a sector enabler. So NABARD continuously work as a sector enabler. So we also work towards infrastructure creation, whether it is the field of agriculture or allied sector or social sector or rural connectivity. So we have a different funds. So I've highlighted two, three funds here. I'll not go deep into that funds. One is rural RIDF, which we call it a Rural Infrastructure Development Fund, where funds are lent to state government and public enterprise for creation of various infrastructure which work as an enabler for a particular sector, be it a food processing sector, be it a agriculture sector. So we also have a separate fund called NABARD Infrastructure Development Fund, where loans and funds are lent to state government, public enterprises, public organizations for creation of public infrastructure. So we also have warehouse infrastructure, where funds were basically, loans were extended for development of warehouses, silos and cold storage and cold chain infrastructure. So here I just wanted to make, to inform you two major intervention which NABARD has been doing it. I'll not go deep into the warehouse capacity being developed, but we have created a app called the Kisan Bhandaran app, where we have hosted around 1.1 lakh storage infrastructure, geotag storage infrastructure. Through this app, our farmers, our trader can track the nearby geotag infrastructure, which can be used for the storage purpose. In addition to that, NABARD also implement one of the subsidy scheme of Ministry of Agriculture, which is called as Agriculture Marketing Infrastructure Scheme, where grant support to the extent of 25% to, subsidies support to the extent of 25% to 33% is given to the entrepreneurs. This is a Dairy Processing and Infrastructure Development Fund, which has been subsumed with Animal Husbandry Infrastructure and Development Fund. So we are currently implementing two such funds. One is Animal Husbandry Infrastructure and Development Fund, and second is Fisheries and Aquaculture Infrastructure and Development Fund, where NABARD works in two aspects. One is infrastructure creation for these particular two sectors in public sector. Second is we have also hosting two credit guarantee schemes through our subsidiary called NABARD for lending under Animal Husbandry Infrastructure Development Fund and lending to entrepreneurs under FIDF. So if anybody is availing any loan facility under AHIDF and FIDF can avail credit guarantee coverage from our subsidiary called NABARD. You can Google it, you will be able to find the website of NABARD. This is the same. This is a brief about the infrastructure support we give. This is also a credit facility which we give to various federation which works as a backend for food security and food safety. We also work in farmer-producer organizations. We have been implementing, forming farmer-producer organizations since 2014. So we started it all with the Produce Fund. Then we had our own fund, which is called the Producer Organization Development Fund. Now we are forming FPOs under Central Sector Scheme of Formation and Promotion of 10,000 FPOs. This is a just brief about funds. This is a status. I just wanted to tell you one more thing. We have a credit guarantee scheme for HIDF lending and FIDF lending. We also have a credit guarantee schemes for lending to FPO. The same subsidy of NABARD NAB sanction is hosting that subsidy scheme. If कोई अगर FPO ऐसा है who wanted to avail some credit facility from any bank and do not possess any collateral to lend to the bank, they can avail the credit guarantee scheme from NABARD subsidy called NAB selection. This is also one initiative which NABARD is implementing with in association with Ministry of Corporation. This is a big initiative done by Ministry of Agriculture, where they are targeting around creation of 1 lakh metric ton storage structure through cooperatives. So the pilot phase has already been implemented. Now the scheme is in full phase. This is very brief. Just do not want you to keep away from your lunch. If anybody wanted to ask anything, I am happy to reply to that questions. I feel you may not find it that lucrative because MFA की schemes में बहुत सारी subsidy की schemes है, वो attract करती है entrepreneurs को. But still you wanted to ask something, I am ready to answer that questions. खाली पेट किसी का मन नहीं करता कुछ पूछने का. Thank you for patience hearing, because lunch time में सुनना बहुत patience वाला काम होता है. Because I was sitting there, I was getting कि भैया सीधे lunch करेंगे, अगली presentation बाद में सुनेंगे. Thank you very much.